Hello and welcome friends. Particulate pollution is unavoidable outcome of natural yet engineered man-made activities. The particles could be treated as aerosols that is they could be in liquid or solid form, in suspension, in gaseous medium. They could be in various form like dust, fumes, mist, spray, etc. They can have distinguished physical as well as chemical properties. They are characterized by their range of sizes depending on the process they originate from. Each of them has deleterious effect on all aspects of the atmosphere. As they originate, they are in their preliminary form, but as they react with each other, they give rise to their secondary forms. Their recognition as well as their determination of their mass emission is important to avoid pollution of particular area. One of the ways to establish the control on particulate emission is application of control equipment. In this presentation, we will discuss use of gravity settling chamber to trap and reduce the particulate discharge into the atmosphere at the source of generation in an industry. The gravitational settling chamber is simplest control equipment employed for the collection of particulate pollution. It consists of gas inlet, a chamber, gas outlet, and the hoppers for particulate collection. As shown in figure, the sudden expansion of size at the chamber reduces the speed of the dust-filled airstream, and the heavier particles settles at the bottom, which are ultimately collected through the hoppers. Thus, this particular equipment utilizes force of gravity to remove the solid particles. The constructional aspects classifies GSC in two primary forms. One is the expansion chamber and second one is multiple tray chamber. Here the upper figure indicates the expansion chamber, whereas the lower figure shows the features of multiple tray settling chamber. This chamber has lower volume requirements than the expansion type settling chamber for the collection of small particulate. We will discuss this multiple tray settling chamber aspect in view of having better capacity as we proceed further. In the GSC, we mainly rely on gravitational force. This may be employed to remove the particles when the particulate settling velocity is greater than 13 centimeter per second. This particular settling velocity can be made applicable for the particle which has diameter 15 micron if its density is low. Or in the similar sense, it can also be made applicable for the particle which has 10 micron diameter but it is reasonably dense. If the particle is having the diameter less than 10 micron, it will be having very less settling velocity and it will take long detention time to settle at the bottom simply through gravity. Hence, if we consider the depth or rather height of this particular settling chamber divided into number of flow paths, so that the distance to travel to settle is reduced, then the chamber will be having better capacity as far as the removal of the particulate is concerned. As well as we consider here W as width of the chamber, H as height of the chamber, capital L as length of the chamber, and this is the inlet pipe from where the particulate laden gas is entering in this expanded chamber. It would prefer to flow through the central plane and most of its upper part won't be utilized as far as the separation aspect through gravity are concerned. Hence, the baffles or screens are suspended in the chamber to have the flow regulated through some predetermined flow channels. In addition, here these particular screens or baffles also ensure the uniform flow patterns over the length of this particular chamber, and it reduces the turbulence. The turbulence may cause the re-entrainment of the particle which is deposited at this particular surface. Normally, the gas velocity which is entering into this particular chamber is expected to be quite low, to the tune of 30 to 300 centimeter per second. Even it is preferably expected to be less than 30 centimeter per second. We can consider some of the basic characteristics. Here, this control equipment is cost-wise quite economical, as the cost towards the installation as well as maintenance is quite low, as well as there are no moving parts and it is not energy intensive. Even the constructional aspects make this control equipment capable for withstanding the gas temperature, which are very high, as well as even if the gas is corrosive in nature or the particulate is causing the abrasion of these particular parts. For the given ranges and for the consideration of the size of the particulate, it works excellently. Only the thing is, it occupies quite a large area. It has got very low collection efficiency if the dust loading contains substantial amount of fine to medium size particles. Even as we consider some of the medium size particles or even the fine size particles, they won't have the free fall. During settling, there would be agglomeration as well as even the particles may re-enter. Hence, here the collection efficiency is largely affected because of the particulate behavior, as such the turbulence that is occurring in the chamber. Because of its low installation as well as maintenance cost and its capability to withstand high temperature and even the corrosive environment as well as the particles which could be having abrasive nature, these are mostly preferred as pre-cleansers. That is, here they would be installed first, the coarser and desirable particulate will be removed initially, and subsequently we can consider the refined equipment. Say for example here, say electrostatic precipitators can be provided subsequently. For the given configuration, we can work out the minimum particulate size that can be removed with 100% efficiency. Please refer to the figure. The time required for the particle to settle through distance h and hence to remove from the gaseous stream must be equal to or less than time required to travel the distance capital L. For this minimum size particle dp, which is said to be removed through 100%, these two times must be equal. Hence, T given by H by Vt should be equal to L by V average. Here, Vt is terminal settling velocity of the desired particle, whereas V average is the average velocity of the gas which is entering to the inlet in that particular chamber. Here, Q is gas flow rate. As we substitute this in Stokes' equation, we can solve for the particle size that can be completely removed in the chamber. In earlier presentations, we have already deduced this Stokes expression. So, as we solve for this particular D, we can have the expression as put up here. Here, this D represents the dp minimum, which is minimum particle size, the limiting value since the particle equals to or greater than this value will reach the collection surface. Here, we assume that gas moving through the chamber is not mixed totally. Thus, the model we are considering here is plug flow model, or it can also be treated as block flow model. Here, the horizontal velocity is V average and is assumed to be uniform over the chamber. The horizontal component of the velocity of the particulate is also V average, whereas the vertical component of the velocity of the particulate is its terminal settling velocity. It is assumed that as it reaches the collecting surface, it won't enter back into the chamber. Thus, as discussed previously, here the T would be expressed as L by V average. The vertical settling distance can be expressed as T times Vt, hence this Vt into L by V average is nothing but vertical settling distance. The fraction captured would be nothing but eta, which is efficiency, and can be given by this particular expression. As we substitute the Stokes expression for Vt, the resultant expression for efficiency would be this. Here, the efficiency of the settling chamber increases with the settling time for the particulate in the chamber, which would be nothing but the residence time. The efficiency can be seen to be varied through the various terms. Here, efficiency is function of the square of the diameter, as well as here the length of settling chamber. It is also directly proportional with the density of the particulate. Here, it is inversely proportional to the average velocity of the gas, as well as the depth to be traversed for the particulate settlement. In reality, as discussed previously, the gas velocity is maintained to be quite low to prevent the re-entrainment of the particulate. The another approach for the determination of the efficiency of gravitation settling chamber is mixed flow. Here it is assumed that the particles of all sizes continually settle downward into the laminar layer. The gas flow is totally mixed in Z direction and not in X direction. it is obvious here that in order to have the particular distribution in x direction, the particle has to move in the upstream side as well as downstream side as far as the gas flow is concerned. For the determination of the efficiency, we more deal with the vertical plane. Hence, we assume that the gas flow is totally mixed in z direction. As we consider a differential length of settler as dx, for this settler length dx, the fraction collected would be nothing but Vt into dt by capital H. Hence, the change in concentration passing through this section of dx can be given as dc as minus c times the fraction collected. Here, the negative sign indicates the reduction in the concentration of the particulate. The time that average particle takes to pass through the differential distance of dx would be given as dt is equal to dx by v average. As we combine these equations, we have dc by c is equal to minus vt upon h times v average times dx. As we integrate this equation for x is equal to 0 to x is equal to L, what we get is this. So accordingly, here the collection efficiency for mixed flow model can be expressed as 1 minus C out upon C in. So here, as we consider the relevant expressions here, we can get the resultant expression as 1 minus e raised to minus Lg d square rho particle divided by h v average 18 mu. Here, this is nothing but the efficiency expression for block flow patterns. Hence, this efficiency equation for mixed flow condition can be given as 1 minus e raised to minus eta block. Based on the expressions that we deduce, we can have some examples. I have taken the reference of Wark and Warner. Here the details are given. So here, for the first problem, already you have the expression for minimum particle size diameter as we deduced on the previous slide. Here, as we make use of these particular say appropriate values in the given expression, and as we consider these 18 as 36 to be more conservative, the minimum particle size diameter that we get here is 37.5 micron. Similarly, for the problem number 2, we have deduced the expression for GSE as VTL by HV average times 100, and as we make use of this particular expression pertaining to the given data, here we can have the length of gravity settling chamber worked out as 18 meters. Even one can make use of the mixed flow approach, and accordingly here this capital L can be worked out as 23.3 meters. In order to design the gravitational settling chambers, we have to have volumetric gas flow rate, the particle size diameter and their mass distribution analysis, the average particular density, the gas density and viscosity, as well as desired removal efficiency for the target particle size. We can follow the given steps. So the first step is determination of terminal settling velocity for the range of particulate that is obtained from the mass distribution analysis. The particles which normally one would be interested in removing in gravity settler would not be too fine. Hence, if we are defining certain target particle size, we can make use of Stokes' law without any corrections. In next step, we have to presume suitable gas velocity through the settler. Earlier, we considered the condition that we have to have uniform gas flow, as well as there should not be any turbulence which may lead to the re-entrainment of the particle, and hence we go for low gas velocity to the tune of 0.3 to 0.6 meter per second. Next step is to decide the settler length capital L. The main condition here is the space availability for the installation. We have to apply the check for the allowable pressure drop hand in hand, and hence here we have to consider both the conditions, that is the available space as well as allowable pressure drop. Here tau is expressed as residence time for the chamber. So for the given conditions, V average will be the size pertaining information, whereas capital L will be decided on this particular space available and pressure drop conditions, and hence we can work out the tau. The next step is the estimation of the settler height h, and for this we have to consider the number of configurations, that is whether the gravitational settling chamber is single chamber or it is multi-tray settler, and whether the flow in the settler is laminar or turbulent. Each of the cases are discussed subsequently. In any control device, turbulence is major factor to consider the removal of the particle. Hence, it is necessary to know whether the flow is laminar or turbulent. For this, we make use of Reynolds number. As you know, Reynolds number is given by this particular expression, where this dH is nothing but the hydraulic diameter of the pipe or the duct that we consider as gravitational settler. Remaining terms already you are conversant with. So here, if this Reynolds number worked out as less than 2000, the flow will be considered as laminar. If the number is more than 10,000, flow will be turbulent, and in between there is a transitional phase. Here this hydraulic diameter is defined as 4 times cross-sectional area divided by weighted perimeter. For circular sections, it would be nothing but its physical diameter, but for gravitational settling chambers having cross-sectional areas h by w, here the P would be given as 4 times h by w divided by 2h plus 2w. So here the first combination could be single chamber under laminar flow conditions. So as discussed in the earlier slide, for this condition Reynolds number should be less than 2000. So here the settler height h is estimated based on the desired removal efficiency of the target particle size dpi. So here we'll make use of expression in order to determine h for this. For other particles which are having diameter other than dpi, the settling height would be h dp and can be expressed as the settling velocity of that particle times the residence time. Hence, the removal efficiency would be given by h dp by capital H. If the mass distribution and their respective efficiencies are worked out, we can work out the overall efficiency for the combination. So the overall efficiency of the settler is nothing but weighted average of collection efficiencies for the various size ranges and is estimated using this expression. It should be noted that eta dp may have the maximum value of 1. So the second combination could be single chamber settler in which the flow is turbulent. So under such circumstances, the settler height is estimated based on the target particle size dpi and assuming the separation efficiency 1. So here the capital H would be given by Vt into the residence time. For dp, other than the target size particle, the settling height is given as h dp and it is nothing but Vt dp times tau. Here the removal efficiency is given by 1 minus e raised to minus h dp by capital H. The overall removal efficiency can be worked out with a similar approach, the way we discussed earlier. Third combination could be multi-tray settler design. In the case of multi-tray settler, the distance between the consecutive trays ht is of importance. In certain literature, it is expressed to be as low as 2.5 centimeter, but generally it is 25 to 30 centimeter. It is evident that for the estimation of capital H. Here HT, that is the distance between the two consecutive trays, and their number are to be pre-selected. The number of trays in a chamber N is estimated using the expression N is equal to H by HT. The relation to be used for the estimation of W would be W is equal to Q by NHT, V average. Also, we can make use of this particular expression, and accordingly here the fractional collection efficiency can be determined by this equation. As we determine the various parameters, here this width W can be worked out by making use of this expression. So, gravitational settling chamber is very sturdy, it is reliable, but it is less efficient particulate control equipment. As discussed here, mostly it is preferred to be pre-cleaner. In order to design that, we can make use of block flow as well as mixed flow approaches, depending on single chamber configuration under laminar flow conditions, single chamber configuration under turbulent flow conditions, as well as multiple tray settler. Because of the size requirement it has, mostly here this control equipment is preferred where the site circumstances allows its installation. Thank you.